It's late. The house is quiet, the screens are off, and you are staring at the ceiling, right on the edge of sleep. Then, without warning, your brain decides to replay the exact moment you called your teacher mom in the 3rd grade. Instantly, your heart rate spikes, your face flushes with heat. You might even physically wince or audibly groan in the dark, reacting to a decade-old event as if it were happening right now.
Welcome. Make yourself cozy and explore with me.
Sleep is a biological imperative. Without it, our cognitive functions degrade, our immune systems weaken, and eventually our bodies shut down. So it makes very little sense that our brains would intentionally flood our conscious minds with obsolete, painful social data exactly when we need to rest. This late-night playback is a highly specific, ancient biological system powering up to do exactly what it was built to do. As the day's tasks end and external distractions fade, your brain completely changes its operational state. This brain diagram shows activity shifting to a widely distributed system called the default mode network, which specializes in self-referential thought. As you sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the rational editor, powers down, leaving the DMN unchecked to treat awkward social memories as urgent priority files. To understand why the DMN cares so much about an awkward conversation, we have to look back at our deep evolutionary past. In the ancestral environment, human survival depended entirely on permanent integration within a cooperative social group. A solitary human in this setting faced predation, starvation, and exposure. Group inclusion was a primary regulatory necessity, holding the same motivational urgency as finding food or water. Because of these high stakes, early humans developed a trait called the negativity bias. The brain grips painful information far more strongly than positive experiences. Remembering which berry made you sick kept you alive. Remembering a beautiful sunset did not. In a world where physical survival required the protection of the tribe, any threat to your social standing, like being alienated or mocked, equated to a literal death sentence. To your ancient survival wiring, a social faux pas carried the exact same weight as a physical predator. It was a mortal threat that could get you cast into the wilderness. Your modern brain still acts as a continuous prediction machine, constantly guessing how social interactions will play out so it can navigate them safely. On a timeline of expected social behavior, an embarrassing moment creates a jagged break. Psychologists call this a prediction error. Your brain hyper-encodes the mistake, refusing to delete the memory. It studies the deviation to prevent it from happening again. So during the quiet hours, the brain runs a survival audit. It forces you to re-watch the tape of your mistakes to extract a clear lesson for your future safety. The brain isn't torturing you out of cruelty. It is desperately studying your past blunders as an act of biological care, working overtime to ensure you are never rejected by the group. But this still leaves a physiological mystery. Why do these obsolete social memories trigger literal physical reactions, like a racing heart and a flushed face, years after the fact? This cross-section highlights the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, or DACC, the neural region responsible for processing the intense distress of physical injuries. When neuroscientists scanned participants experiencing social exclusion, they found a distinct spike in activity right here. Social rejection lights up the exact same regions as breaking a bone. As far as your neuroanatomy is concerned, the line between a physical injury and social embarrassment does not exist. Once you map the biology, the late-night cringe takes on a completely different meaning. It is an overprotective, outdated alarm system rooted in prehistoric survival. The very act of cringing at your past behavior is actually proof of cognitive growth. It demonstrates your brain recognizes the error because you have adopted a more mature, sophisticated social standard since the event occurred. The next time the midnight theater begins, you can use this scientific understanding to consciously intervene. You can recognize the flushed face and the racing heart as a false alarm from a system trying to keep you safe from a predator that isn't there. By recognizing this as a misguided act of biological care, you can forgive your survival engine, deactivate the threat response, and drift into peaceful sleep.
I hope you enjoyed our journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more cosmic adventures.